What's up, guys? Today we are smoking Dino beef ribs. Yes, beef short ribs, USDA prime from Costco. Today we're smoking on our big green egg. We're smoking at a temperature of 250 degrees and we're using pecan wood. Let's see how this turns out. All right, guys, when you're doing beef ribs, the first thing you're obviously gonna do is take it out of the packaging. And today we're doing USDA prime beef ribs from Costco. As you know, when you go to Costco, you gotta buy in bulk. So the total of these two was about 9 pounds. But I'm thinking one's closer to 4.5, the other's closer to 3.5. Oh, that only equals 8. So one's closer to 5.5, the other's closer to 3.5. When you're taking it out of this cryovac, what you're gonna wanna do is pat it dry. You're not gonna wanna wash it, but you are definitely gonna wanna pat it dry, because this packaging is nasty. We're gonna do these one at a time to make it easy, but I won't make y'all watch both. And these are some pretty good looking beef ribs. As you can see, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 bones. Four bones, membrane attached, which is good for beef ribs. And the top, you've got a little bit of fat. And you don't want to trim off too much of it, but what you do want, because some of it will render, but what you do want to do is get some of this silver skin off. Now to do that, just kind of take your knife, get under it just a little bit, be very careful. You don't want to get rid of the meat, it's not cheap. And then just slide. A sharp knife always makes this easier, so I always recommend sharpening right beforehand. Also, it's best to do this when the meat just comes out of the fridge. When this fat starts warming up, it starts to get kind of like mushy and jelly and just very hard to cut. So we're just gonna go in, kind of remove some of this silver skin stuff and go from there. And just, you know, if this is your first time doing it, just go slow. We're in no rush here, guys. See this fat, I'm trying to decide whether I should take it off or not. I think I'm gonna leave it. See how thin that is? I think that's gonna render out, and I think it's gonna taste pretty good. So I'm gonna just take that off. Let's see what else. See how thin this is right here? That's gonna burn up and not, let me see. See how thin that is right there? That's gonna burn up and not taste good whenever we're cooking. So, just gonna take that off. This part right here, we're gonna wanna get rid of that. So, as we did with the other pieces, just kind of stick the knife in. Be very careful, and just start slicing slowly. Didn't get too much of the fat. Let's see if we can just pull this off. And we were. All right, so look at this. This beef ribs got some pretty good marbling on it. Like I said, I got these from Costco, and Costco's meat can sometimes be really good. Sometimes it's a little hit or miss, but it looks like we did pretty good on this one. I'm gonna go ahead and get this off. That doesn't look like it'll be any good to eat. You can go as heavy or as light in the trimming as you want. For the sake of this video, I think I'm gonna go on the lighter side. I don't wanna take up too much of your guys' time. After all we're doing is trimming. Maybe I should have left that piece, but that's okay. All right, today we're going to be seasoning with, well, first things first, let's get a clean hand. Today we're going to be seasoning with very simple seasoning: kosher salt, coarse ground pepper. And I think I'm going to add a little bit of Montreal steak seasoning just to kind of help with that crust and give it a little bit more flavor. All right, let's get to it. I do these separately just so that you can control how much salt you're actually putting on here. And I'll show you all that. You can be fairly liberal with salt on this thing. It's a big piece of meat. It can take it. All right, I'd say that's pretty good. Now you want to just pat it in. Never rub your meat. Always just pat. Okay, also, don't forget to get the sides. Look at all that flavor right there. We got to season that too. Now the way I do that, just hold it up a little bit. Just drizzle. You don't need a ton. Alright, one side done. Use your hand as a backboard. Some will splash up. That's perfect. Pat it in. Rotate and continue. Oh yeah. These are some good sized beef ribs. And this is the smaller rack. Set this aside. I'm gonna do the other one. Nice rub down beef short ribs. All right, we're not gonna touch these for 3 hours because the name of the game is getting that bark. What's up, guys? We've been smoking for 3 hours now. We've been smoking at 250 to 260 degrees. Let's take a look at these things. All right, these things are starting to look pretty good. Right now I'm checking to see if they need, they're getting dry at all, if I need to spray them, and you know what? They actually look pretty good. We're starting to see some really good pullback from the bones, but I don't think they're quite done. Let's stick a thermometer in just to see where they're at. Our finishing temperature is gonna be somewhere right around 200 degrees, but what I'm really probing for is tenderness. So let's see where they're at right now. All right, it's looking like 180, 182. This side's cooking 178, which makes sense. The back of your egg is always hotter. Let's see how this one's doing. This one's a little bit smaller. Well, it's actually keeping temperature pretty much the same. You know, I was debating today whether or not to wrap these or not. Although the bark is looking good, I think I'm gonna leave them unwrapped. This is starting to get a little dry in this corner, so I'm gonna give that just a little spritz. I'm using just 50-50 water and apple cider vinegar. These corners are what gets you. But all right. I'm gonna shut the lid. We're gonna keep on smoking. We'll see you guys in another hour. What's up, guys? We're back. It's been 5.5 hours. We've been smoking between 250 to 260 degrees for the first 3 hours. For the next 2.5 hours, I cranked it up to 275 to really crisp up that bark. Let's see how they turned out. Oh yeah, these things got nice and dark. You just feel them. You can tell they're done. Let's stick a probe in and see if they're tender. Oh yeah, these things are going in like butter. Let's check this one. Oh, this one is just, some people ask, what does it feel like when it's going in like butter? And this is one you can just tell. All right, I'm gonna take these things off. I'm gonna let them rest for 30 minutes. When I see you guys again, we'll cut into them and see how they look. Okay, here we go, the finished product. Let's talk about what we did. First, we started off, we rubbed them down with salt, pepper, a little Montreal seasoning. Then we got our big green egg lit. We used charcoal and pecan wood, and we set it at 250 degrees. We smoked them for 3 hours between 250 and 260 degrees. And the first time we looked at them, they were looking pretty good, and we decided to spritz them a little bit. Then we let them cook for another 2 hours until they started probing just soft butter tender. Now, let's cut into them. First, let's flip them over, make it easier to cut. Let's see how they look. Look nice, they look juicy. You can see that juice coming out. You can see the fat rendered nicely. You got some great pullback of the bone. Let's see how they taste. Got the smokiness. That crust is really good. The bark formed great. You got the pepper come through. It's just really good. Just falling right off the bone. All right, for our final taste test, we're gonna see if these are Jackson and Bell approved. All right, y'all good dogs? Do good dogs get ribs? What do you think, guys? Are they good? Got a nice little drool bubble there, Jackson. Well, guys, thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe for some more great content. We'll be trying to release a video once a week. All right, thanks, have a good one.